Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be going over 3 players for the Washington Commanders that I think could have breakout seasons in 2022. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Now let's get right into it. So every offseason, I try to predict which players I think could have a breakout season for the Washington Commanders. So we're here and we're doing it again. And first off, let's talk about what I consider a breakout season. So it can't be a guy like Terry McLaurin, because he's already broken out. He's already one of the better receivers in the NFL. So a guy like that, he can't be a breakout. It has to be someone who really is under the radar player, maybe a back who's been a backup, or not a great starter who could turn out to be a really solid player for the Washington Commanders. And yeah, it can't also be a rookie because they never played before. So let's go ahead and get started. So there are a lot of different guys to choose from, but the first guy on this list is John Bates. I really like John Bates. He had a really solid season for the Washington Commanders. A lot of people didn't have high expectations for him last year, and he actually played pretty well over the second half of the year. Even the first half of the year, he was playing well, just not pass catching wise. He didn't get that many targets, but the second half of the year he was pretty good. 24 years old, 6'6", and last year had 20 catches for 249 yards and average 12.5 basically yards per catch. But why I think he's going to have a breakout season, if you look at the games, let's look at the first 5 weeks of the season. He did not get a single catch. I don't even think he got a single target. His first target came at week 6 against the Chiefs, and he caught 1 pass for 7 yards. And then week 7, nothing. Week 8, 1 catch. So if you look at after the bye week 10 on, so those 9 games, he was really solid. Not amazing, but look, 25 yards, 23 yards, 15, 42, 19, 29, 45, 35, and 5. Those aren't amazing numbers, but for a 4th round rookie tight end who is supposed to be just basically a blocking tight end, those are solid numbers. He basically put up 250 yards in the second half of the year. So on pace for, close to 500. He had some yards early on. So let's say 470. So he was really solid in the second half of the season. And another thing is that I think it doesn't show the targets here, but I remember at some point he was had 15 targets on the season and 15 catches. And I think, there's obviously a couple in the last few weeks of the season where he wasn't able to come down with it, or it was just a bad throw. But he had a very high catch percentage for the Washington Commanders last year and made some nice plays. He actually was kind of sneaky good after the catch. He had some big, catches. I think one against the Cowboys where he broke a bunch of tackles when the rest of the team quit. He was still out there balling out, and that was great to see. And some other stats for John Bates. So this is from Nathan Coleman and some stats from PFF. First in the NFL in run blocking grade for tight ends. That is very impressive for a rookie tight end to be the first in the NFL for that. 12.8 yards per reception, 9th in the NFL for tight ends. This was 1 week before the season ended, and 13th most receiving yards among rookie wide receivers and tight ends. Not a bad day, or not bad for a rookie day 3 pick with limited college production. So I think they hit a home run on that pick for a 4th rounder who's already an elite blocker for a tight end and is developing as a pass catcher. I think they did really good with that. And I think this year, especially with Logan Thomas out, I think John Bates will, early on get a lot of the targets. I think Cole Turner will as well, but I think John Bates will be tight end 1 until Logan Thomas comes back. And he's already a great pass, blocker in general, run blocking and pass blocking. I think he'll be a little bit better than that, but I think where he'll improve even more is his pass catching. So I think he's going to take a decent jump in the pass catching department. I think he's going to go over. I think he can go over 400 receiving yards, maybe 450, depending on how long Logan Thomas is out. Because if Logan Thomas is out for 6 or more weeks, I think, John Bates could get 500 plus, but if he's back within the first 3-4 weeks of the season, then it's a little bit different. But I still think he can produce even as a tight end 2, to get 400 plus yards, because a lot of the times last year he was tight end too. Like even when Ricky Seals-Jones was there, he was the backup for a while, and he played really, really solid for the Commanders. So I don't think he's ever going to be an elite tight end, but I think he can be a very solid tight end too, and one of the better blocking tight ends in the league. So he can fill in for you for a few weeks if your tight end 1 is out, and who knows, he could eventually be a tight end 1. The next guy is another guy from the rookie class from last year and another offensive player, and that is offensive tackle Sam Cosmi. And the reason why I think he counts as a possible breakout player is because last year he was good when he played, but it's only for like 7 games this season, 7-8 games, because he was injured a ton. So this year, or maybe it was more, it was like 10 games, whatever. This year I think that he is going to put it all together over the 17-game season. Hopefully he's able to stay healthy, but also improve in certain areas. Because like the first week or so, first couple weeks, he was a little bit rocky in terms of his, pass protection. It was a little bit iffy even throughout the season, but his run blocking was very, very good last year, and he was improving as a pass blocker, and it's great that he's going up against Chase Young and Montez Sweat in practice. That's good for his development. At least Montez Sweat now, and Chase Young eventually will be back on the field. But the biggest thing with him is health. You look at some of his stats from last year. This is based on PFF and ESPN. So he had the 3rd best run block win rate among all NFL tackles. So extremely impressive there. And then 5th highest PFF overall grade, 75 for a rookie tackle since 2017, and ranked 11th overall in PFF run blocking grade. So, 2 different platforms there. Both say he's a pretty good run blocker, and you could see from some of the clips or film from him, he was very good in the run game. Has to improve a little bit in the passing game, or, in his pass protection, but I think that will improve as he goes on. And I think if he would have played all 17 games, or even like 15, it would have been, improved at a more rapid pace. But he was in and out of the lineup because of ankle injury. I think he also had a hip injury, which is unfortunate. You guys can see this right here. Had 2 penalties. One was like I think it was like, I can't remember, but he not that many. 2 penalties isn't bad. Had 4 sacks. Can improve a little bit on that. But yeah, I think Sam Cosmi will be solid for them. I think he has like Pro Bowl potential at the tackle position. He's playing right tackle, has that versatility, can play left tackle, but I think they're going to, he's obviously this year is going to play right tackle, and Charles Leno's under contract for a while, so I think he's going to stick at right tackle, and like I said, he has Pro Bowl potential, and maybe even better than that. Maybe he can be an All-Pro. I think he is that good. He has that potential. He's got those athletic traits. He's just got to put it all together, stay healthy. He's still got John Masco for at least another year. So if that, puts it all together, I think he can this year even have a Pro Bowl type season. Will he get to the Pro Bowl? I don't know, just because, again, it's a popularity contest. So, like, it's hard for a guy who's like a 2nd-round pick to really, on a team like Washington, to get a lot of buzz, especially at the tackle position, to get into the Pro Bowl. It's going to be like vets like Trent Williams, guys like that, Tron Armstead that have been in the league for a while, that have recognition, that have gotten big contracts. But I think he'll be like a Pro Bowl level type player. So he's my 2nd guy. And then next guy, Benjamin ST-Juste. We've been hearing some really, really good things from him in the offseason. And another guy who, he was more, up and down than Cosmi was last year, but also similar to Cosmi, had a bunch of injury issues last year, had 2 concussions, was out for, how many games did he play? 6 games? He played 7 games. That's just crazy. 2 concussions, really, really unfortunate for him, because again, those concussions, the more you get, the easier it is to get another one, and the longer the recovery period is. So he needs to, it's just basically unlucky, but he's got to try to avoid those concussions in the future. But it's hard to avoid them. It's hard to avoid them. I guess the best thing you can do is just less hits in practice and stuff, but that's really all you can do. But yeah, 24 years old. He's got that length, 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's probably going to play more in the slot this year. That's what he's been playing in the off season and OTAs, minicamp, and the coaches have been raving about him. And, you know, if he showed some potential last year. He showed, there's a couple games where he got torched. Like that Chargers game, he got torched. He was on Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was burning him. But there were some other games where he was playing pretty well, even against Devontae Adams. He had a couple nice reps against him. So I think he just got to stay healthy, kind of like Cosme, and, you know, fix some of those mechanics up. But for the most part, he is pretty solid. A little handsy, but like again, that's very, very coachable. And yeah, like Al Galdi said right here, you know, Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera have been raving about Benjamin St-Juste this offseason. So just got to stay healthy, but I really think he can have a good year for the Commanders. Like, he has a lot of potential. He's got also a great mindset as well. If you know, follow him on Twitter or whatever, Instagram, he's got a great mindset for sure. So, you know, he's a good guy. So hoping for the best for him. And if he can be good for the Commanders, that's going to be huge for the defense, because they have a hole at that slot cornerback position, and, you know, he could fill that hole. He's more of an outside guy just because of that length. Usually those guys that are a little bit taller play on the outside, but, you know, he's got the skill set to play on the inside. So let's see what he can do this year, but expecting bigger things from, you know, BSJ this year. And biggest thing is health. That's the biggest thing for him. If he can stay healthy, I strongly believe he's going to be a solid player for a long time in this league. So those are kind of my 3 breakout players. A couple, I guess, you know, honorable mentions, guys that I was thinking about. I was thinking maybe Jamin Davis, but I'm just not super confident in him this year. I think he can maybe, you know, be a little bit better. I really, really don't know. Another guy is Derek Forrest. I think he'll have a solid year, but I don't know if it's that big enough to have a breakout year, like to consider a breakout year, but I think he will definitely be improved. And I think that was kind of the only guys I was really, really thinking about on, you know, the defense side of the ball, besides Benjamin St-Juste. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.